Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Sue, your East Oakland advocate. Well, today I want to talk about Oakland property speculators. And the reason why I bring that up is that uh, back in 2012, going into 2013, I had one of those um, property speculators as my landlord for a couple of months. And he was ruthless. This was a ruthless person. He'd buy distressed homes for pennies on the dollar. He's like one of those will buy it in any condition uh, kind of people. And then he'd buy it. He put a little bit of money into it because he bought it for cheap. In fact, the home that I had rented, we I was paying $2,500 a month, and it was a single family home, and it wasn't huge, but it wasn't exactly small. It was a two-bedroom home, one bathroom, but it had a large yard. That was the important thing, and off-street parking. And it was nice. But when I found out how much he bought it for, in fact, he bought it uh, just the year before I rented it, and he bought it for $165,000 at a distress, uh, as a distressed sale, and then he put a little bit of money into it, and he rented it out for $2,500 a month. So um, he wasn't exactly making money on it, but what he was doing, he was waiting out the market until the market turns, and then when the home's value skyrockets, that's when he sells the home, and that's exactly what he did. Right at when the price of homes start skyrocketing, he took that $165,000 home and he sold it for $800,000, $799,985, and he made a lot of money on that just by sitting on it, and that's what speculators do. And the reason why I bring that up, besides being a victim of a person like that, but it was sad to find out that my nanny, the nanny who raised me for the first 15 years of my life, their home is in the hands of a speculator currently, and the home sits empty because this person hasn't been able to get the profit margins that he's looking for. Uh, and I looked it up, and probably you're saying, well, what's the address? Well, you can look it up also. It's 822 44th Street in the city of Oakland, California. That was my nanny's home. There's been a little bit of work done to it, looks like. But some of the things that I looked back in the taxes, so it looks like it was sold, because I knew that my nanny and her husband had passed on, but then the children had possession of the home. So anyway, it appears that the children stayed in the home until 2018, and then they sold the home. When they sold the home in 2018, here's how I'm tracking. The property taxes on the home in 2018 was $1,854 annually plus assessments, and that was on a home value of $322,000. That was the assessed value. So that tells me it was under Prop 13 protection, because if it was sold or uh, changed hands and it wasn't family, the property taxes would have jumped significantly. It would have been more like 10,000, which it currently is, because currently the property tax, because it's in the hands of a speculator, the annual current property tax is $534 plus additional assessments from the county. But the assessment value on the home currently is at $643,313. That was the 2023 um, Alameda County records information. So sad to see that a nice North Oakland property like that is sitting in the hands of a speculator, and they've only paid $322,000 back in probably at the close of 2018, but it was recorded in 2019 officially. So, and that person's going to make a ton of money when they go to sell that, because right now, everything in Oakland that is a single family home with a yard is going for over $1 million. And so this, he's going to more than triple his money for sitting, we're talking 6 years right now, not even 6 years of owning that property. So that's a pretty good payback if you think about it. And then looking back at my first home that I rented here in Oakland, and that was in North Oakland, not too far from my nanny, actually. The address of my first home that I rented was 450A, Apartment A, on 42nd Street here in North Oakland. And it was a good neighborhood. I enjoyed the neighborhood. It was predominantly black, but it was older families that had been there for a long time. And I didn't have any issues. And the landlord, the property owner, Clyde at the time, he was just a little bit older than me. He was probably about 30. I was 22 at the time when I rented. So he wasn't much older than me. And then I said, if you ever want to sell this, give me a call, let me know. He said, yeah, I'm never going to sell it, and I plan on passing the property on to my children. So I expect that Clyde is probably still alive, but he has his children taking care of the property. And what makes the property unique is that it was two homes on a single property. There's a home in back, and then there's the home in front. The home in front was made into a duplex. So there's an upper living half and a lower living half. So A is upstairs, which was where I was, and then B, which was my neighbor. And then the home behind actually had a couple back then, and they were they were musicians, and they had a band, and they practiced quite a bit, and they were very good. So I didn't have any problems with them. But get this, in 1982, my monthly rent was $450 a month. Yeah, and today that that flat rents for $3,190 is what is currently being collected there. So, man, some people are making some serious money on homes and property, and this is gouging, folks. This is just price gouging everybody, because I lived in that flat for almost 2 years before I bought my first home in Hayward, and a lot of you know about the disaster that Hayward home was, but I did enjoy 450A, 42nd Street here in North Oakland. It was close to my work, as I literally worked up the street for a short time at Grand Auto, right at the corner of 51st Street and Pleasant Valley, right across the street from the former Payless Center. So I worked there for 18 months before they moved me to Berkeley. When I moved to while I was living at 450 42nd Street, they ended up moving me out to Berkeley. And so that's where I stayed for a while. and from Berkeley, I went to San Leandro, Grand Auto, and then from San Leandro to the Park Boulevard. And then after that, I left them because of a incident that the store manager and I got into, and so we're not going to get into that. But anyway, it's crazy how prices have changed. The homes haven't changed much. You know, I looked at the interior pictures of my of that rental, and nothing's changed really. The windows, some windows have changed, and some painting has gone on, but more or less it's still the same place. And is it more valuable? And did they put over $3,000 of monthly value into that home since then? No, not even close. It's frustrating, folks. And to think about, I paid $450 for that same unit, and then today they're asking nearly $3,200. So you see why things have to change here in Oakland, and I have a plan to change Oakland. I have a plan for 26,000 100% affordable housing units that you can either rent or own. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.